Did you ever go to Chester on a school trip? Well, if you did, chances are you walked the Roman walls and you went into the museum. Is that big centurion at the entrance to the museum? Is he still there? Well, he was when I was in school. It's famous for its Roman fort, but little evidence of Roman presence in other part of Merseyside has been found until now. Pieces have been discovered in Bromborough, showing that a settlement was based in this part of the Wirral. Our man in the van, Nick Hatfield, is by one of the test pits, ready to find a little piece of history. Hail, Hatfield. Good morning to you. Tell me about the Romans.
Good morning, Tony. Yeah, well, you sit next to one of the test pits. I'm actually sat in someone's garden here in Bromborough, which is very nice. Sat round having a glass of water, and we're in the sort of shadow. I can see this steeple of St Barnabas Church here, where all the houses around here, or some of them, have been dug up. They're trying to find discoveries here, and as you say, maybe evidence that there was a Roman community here. Dean Paton has been kind of organising all this. Good morning to you, Dean. Well, first of all, tell us about this potential Roman discovery that you found.
Well, it's important not to over-egg the Roman pudding, really, but we confirmed that some of the pottery evidence that we've got is certainly 1st, 2nd century Roman domestic ware. So it's a small collection for now, but it's never came out of Bromborough before, so in that sense it's significant. It's not like a stray lost coin, so it's suggestive of people being active in the area at some time in the past.
Well, we're sat in Rob's garden here. We'll have a chat with him in a minute because he had all his turf dug up here. But you have also been digging at various houses around here. What was the idea behind that? How did you come to pick the houses, and were the residents on board with that?
Well, the whole point of the project is actually not so much archaeology but community. It's about using archaeology as a tool to bring a community together, and so it was very much opening, using the kind of historic excitement that people have, and it was very easy to get people signed up. We know that the church has Anglo-Saxon origins from stone sculpture, so we put a pin in the map and we basically targeted that kind of first area around the church, and then as soon as we decided to get the project launched, and we were very lucky to get funding from the Heritage Lottery Fund, then the community we couldn't keep them away, to be honest. It's been a real good, strong community effort, and something that has been really easy to do, because having them on board I think we've hit over 1,200 hours worth of community voluntary hours since we started, which is just phenomenal.
And you've been shifting quite a lot of soil, you were just telling me, and everyone's been getting involved. What else have you found?
Well, right back from the start, we're hitting prehistoric flint, so 5, perhaps 6,000 years old flint chert tools, and we know that this chert, which is a slightly not as good a quality as flint, but it doesn't come naturally in Wirral, so it's been moved in, or it's been traded, or it's been brought in from North Wales. So that's the earliest stuff, right through to my favourite find, which is a mid-1980s Star Wars figure, which was actually C-3PO's arm, but we were able to accurately date it to the mid-80s, and it was a very special deposition, and we've got it recorded, and it's going to go up on the HER record.
You should see Dean's face here, Tony. He's like a child. He's reminiscing about his 80s childhood. But speaking of children, you've also been getting some of the local school kids involved as well, haven't you?
Yeah, like we said, it's a community effort. So from the age of about 5 up to 85, everyone's been involved. And Tuesday, Wednesday this week, we had Woodsley Primary School digging a test pit in their grounds, and we had over 200 children throughout the day, with some amazing supporters from the University of Chester who've been coordinating the project with us, and we had a cracking few days, and the children got a lot out of it. And also, if anything else, it's physical exercise, it's working outdoors, it's learning outdoors. So archaeology just ticks so many boxes, and it's been a really good fun project, and the weather's helped as well.
OK, well, I'm going to bring in Rob Henshaw now, whose lovely garden, was sat in here this morning, and Rob is a volunteer excavator. Basically, he let this fella into his garden to dig it up and look for some artefacts. Well, what actually happened?
Right, well, he's been forcing me to dig for the last 2 or 3 weeks, actually. We've had a fantastic time. I've met neighbours who previously we maybe only acknowledged. And to have postgraduates from the University of Chester coming into my garden, which in archaeology and actually finding and analysing things is, well, you'd pay money for it. It really is. It's been a fantastic experience, and possibly made some new friends out of it as well.
Okay, and what did you I mean, the garden, the lawn's perfect now. There's a little bit in the middle where you can see it's been dug up and the lawn has been relaid, but presumably it was a bit of a mess previously.
Oh, it was all done in a controlled manner. I mean, it was a metre square cube of soil that we dug out, literally taking it quite slowly at first, and the number of finds that come out was phenomenal. It's things that, I am interested in my house, I'm interested in who's lived here before, and I certainly didn't expect to find things going back potentially 5,000 years.
Okay, and what did you specifically... Were you getting involved? Were you getting your fingers dirty as well?
I've been involved in this one and a number of other digs in the local side. My house is about 300 years old, but we've been in houses from the 1980s. We dug on the school field. I personally found small pen nibs, and it was just excellent. I mean, the number of people involved is fantastic. You don't have to be strong to dig. People have been analysing, people have been washing finds. It's really been a fantastic experience.
Right, thanks, Rob. And Dean, finally, what happens to all the artefacts that you now find?
Well, we think they belong to the community, so, 20% of archaeology is digging, 80% is analysing, washing, recording, and then eventually publishing. But the finds, we hope to keep and get them on display in the library, into the schools, but eventually accessioned into Museum of Liverpool, which will allow people to analyse them in the future and as a record for the public to keep.
All right, thanks, Dean, but he's keeping that Star Wars figure for himself, Tony.
I know. C-3PO's arm, carbon dated back to the 1980s. I know a certain newsreader who will be down there with a big spade if she knows that there are Star Wars figures buried in the ground. Nearly